Today I'm going to show you exactly why your willpower feels powerless when it comes to your obsessions with social media. You're not fighting your own weakness. You're fighting a multi-billion-dollar industry that employs neuroscientists, behavioral economists, and psychologists whose only job is to make their apps irresistible. They sell our attentions and ultimately change in what we think and how we behave to advertiser. These platforms don't just borrow technique from casino. They perfected them. But here's the scary part. Casinos have to let you leave. Your phone follows you home and into your bedroom. This is the testing laboratory where you are the experiment. Let me break down the exact weapons being used against your brain. Every time you reach for your phone, you're at a choice point. Will you use the technologies at your own will, or will it use you? Will you choose to protect what makes you human, or will you continue giving it away for free? The choice, for now, is still yours. Hey everyone, in my last video, I showed you the 3 lies we tell ourselves about mindless scrolling. If you haven't watched that video, I put the link in the description below. But if you have watched it, you're probably wondering, if I know it's bad for me, why can't I stop? Have you ever picked up your phone for a quick check and suddenly realized an hour has vanished? You started with clear energies and focus, but now your mind feels foggy, almost like you've been mentally hijacked. You went down the rabbit holes of content you weren't even planning on consuming when you clicked to open that app. Things like random influencer drama, endless reels of perfect lives, heated argument between strangers about things that won't matter tomorrow. Today I'm going to show you exactly why your willpower feels powerless when it comes to your obsessions with social media. What if I told you that you're not fighting your own weakness? You're fighting a multi-billion-dollar industry that employs neuroscientists, behavioral economists, and psychologists whose only job is to make their apps irresistible. By the end of this video, you understand exactly how your brain is being hijacked, and more importantly, why this knowledge is the first steps to getting your power back. Here's what you're actually up against when you open any social media app. Social media companies employ psychologists, UX researchers, and behavioral scientists who study human psychologies and applies those insights to their platforms. Here's the thing. Many of these professionals genuinely want to create positive experiences. Justin Rosenstein, who created Facebook like button, said he wanted to create a world where people uplift each other and promotes positivity. But here's when it gets complicated. These platforms make money through advertising, which means their revenue depends entirely on one metric: how long you stay engaged. The seemingly free social media products we use every day help us stay connected, learn new things, and find information. But they also analyze our actions and the data we share, using what they learn about us to trick us into paying attention to them more than we want. They sell our attentions and ultimately change in what we think and how we behave to advertiser. These social media platforms are caught in a race to capture our attention in order to make money. As Sean Parker, Facebook first president, later admitted, he said, "How do we consume as much of your time and constant attention as possible?" This creates what researchers call the attention economy, where you are not the customer. You are the product being sold to advertiser. Even well-intentioned design decisions get evaluated based on whether they increase engagement time, because that's what drives revenue. Facebook alone spends over $15 billion annually on research and development. But here's what they're really developing: ways to keep you hooked. Every feature you see has been tested on millions of users with one single goal: increase your time on the platform, not your happiness. These platforms don't just borrow technique from casino, they perfected them. Casino have flashing lights, no clocks, and free drinks to keep you playing. Social media has notifications, infinite scroll, and variable reward schedule to keep you scrolling. Let's take the pull to refresh mechanism found in many social media apps as an example. This simple gesture mimics the actions of pulling a slot machine levers, creating a sense of anticipation and the possibility of rewards. But here's the scary part: casinos have to let you leave. Your phone follows you home and into your bedroom. Your behavior is being studied in real time 24/7. Right now, millions of users are being tested with different notification timings, which color triggers more taps, and how long to wait before sending the next dopamine hit. So every tap, scroll, and pause is their data. They know you better than you know yourself. This is the testing laboratory where you are the experiment, and the optimization never stops. Now let me break down the exact weapons being used against your brain. There are 4 main ones, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. They are variable reward schedules, social validation dopamine loops, fear of missing out or FOMO, and attention residues. We have discussed these briefly in the previous video, but we're going to cover them in more detail this time. Now let's take a look at the first one: variable reward schedules. This is the most powerful addiction mechanism known to psychology. It works by providing rewards at unpredictable intervals, which create a sense of anticipations and excitement. Think about a slot machine. If they paid out every time, you get bored quickly. But because you never know when you hit the jackpot, you keep pulling that levers. Your brain treats social media exactly like a slot machine. Even the pull to refresh mechanism found in many social media apps were intentionally designed to mimic the simple gestures of pulling a slot machine lever, creating a sense of anticipation and the possibility of reward. Like slot machines, you never know when you get something good, so you keep pulling the levers, or in this case, keep scrolling. Sometimes you get a hilarious meme, sometimes it's an ad, sometimes it's a friend photo that makes you smile. Your brain can predict when the next jackpot will come, so it's keep you pulling the lever, or in this case, scrolling. I caught myself doing this recently. I was scrolling Facebook Reels for an hour every night before bed. One innocent post would lead to a rabbit hole of cooking videos, relationship advice from strangers, and political hot takes I didn't ask for. Next, let's talk about the second psychological weapon, the social validation dopamine loops. Humans are wired for social connections. These platforms weaponize that wiring. Here's what it usually looks like. You post something, then you wait for the validations. The anxiety builds up until the responses come. You're literally addicted to the approval of people you barely know. As mentioned previously, variable reward schedule works by providing rewards at unpredictable intervals, which create a sense of anticipation and excitement. In the context of social media, this might manifest as the random timing of likes, comment, share, or notifications. Each time you check your phone and see a new notification, your brain releases a small burst of dopamine. reinforcing the behavior and encouraging you to check again soon. This creates a short-term dopamine feedback loop where the act of checking social media becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The dopamine loop that social media create is a powerful force. It begins with the anticipation of a potential reward, such as a new like, comment, or message, which causes a slight increase in your dopamine levels. When you check your phone and receive that reward, dopamine levels spike, creating a sense of pleasures and satisfactions. The relationship between dopamine and social media usage is a complex and multifaceted one, creating a potent feedback loop that can be difficult to break. One of the key ways smartphones amplify this connection is through push notifications. Those alerts, which can come in the forms of sounds, vibrations, or visual cues, serves as powerful triggers for dopamine release. Even when we're not actively using our phone, the mere presence of these notifications can create a state of anticipation and arousal, priming our brains for the next hit of dopamine. Let's move on to the third weapon, fear of missing out, or FOMO. Unlike newspapers or TV shows that have natural endings, social media feeds never stop. There's always something more, always something better just one scroll away. They have created this illusion of urgency, turning infinity into anxiety. Things like breaking news that's forgotten in hours, time-sensitive offers that create artificial scarcity. They make you afraid of missing things that don't matter. So ask yourself, what urgent social media content from last week actually impacted your life today? You probably can't even remember what it was. Let's move on to the last psychological weapon, the attention residue. This is the invisible damage that happens even after you close the app. Your brain keeps processing what you consumed. It's like a mental hangover that makes it harder to focus on real tasks after scrolling for hours. Research shows it takes 23 minutes to fully refocus after an interruption. Now, as a software engineer, I can attest to this. Context switching is expensive. But it's not just cognitive. There's also emotional residue. That anger from political posts lingers. The envy from lifestyle content persists. You carry this emotional baggage long after you have closed the app. Now you know the truth. This isn't about your willpower. You're not broken. You're fighting against billion-dollar algorithms designed to override human consciousness. But here's your secret weapon, awareness. When you see the puppet string, you can't unsee them. Every time you reach for your phone, you're at a choice point. Will you use the technologies at your own will, or will it use you? It is true that social media is designed to hijack your brain, but now that you understand how the hijacking works, you can take back control. Here's your homework for the next 3 days. Before opening any social media apps, pause and say out loud, I'm about to enter a system designed to capture my attention. How will I stay conscious? It sounds simple, but this one practice will completely change your relationship with these platforms. Drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 4 psychological weapons hit you the hardest? The variable reward schedules, the social validation dopamine loops, the fear of missing out, or the attention residue? Let's support each other in recognizing these patterns. And make sure you subscribe, because in my next video, we give you the exact 5-pillar system I use to outsmart these algorithms and reclaim my attentions. This is where theory becomes actions. Remember, you're not broken. With conscious awareness, you can choose consciousness over consumptions. Your attention is your life force. What you consistently pay attention to literally shapes who you become. The algorithms are designed to win. But with the right intention and conscious awareness, you can reclaim your most valuable resource, which is your attentions. Your authentic self is waiting. Your creative potential is ready. Your purposeful life is within reach. The only question is, will you choose to protect what makes you human, or will you continue giving it away for free? The choice, for now, is still yours.